Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll talk about how to win that mental battle when it comes to weight loss. My name is Dr. Inaka Yembe. I am a board-certified family medicine physician currently practicing in Louisiana. I am very passionate about helping people lose weight and achieve their health and their wellness goals. So before I get into the discussion on how to win that mental battle, let's talk about some of the statements that I have heard and that I have read. I've heard that losing weight is all about eating less and exercising more. Now, in theory, that makes sense, but in practical, that is not true. I've also heard that going on a diet is the best way to lose weight. Well, that's not true because diets have endpoints and most diets work, but there are several out there that do not work. The whole concept of dieting, I think we need to move away from that. Now, some people say cut your portion sizes and then you lose the weight. That makes sense in theory, but how? What portion sizes? Because when we talk about cutting portion sizes, we're talking about reducing the overall consumption of calories, which makes sense, but doesn't really guarantee us a long-term weight loss. Now, some people say just cut sugars or cut out fats completely or eat healthy. So how does that really translate into losing weight and keeping it off long-term? So now, back to ourselves, we want to figure out how to win that mental battle that we have all the time when we embark on a healthy lifestyle change. So I want us to consider 3 points. Number 1, preparation. Number 2, self-mastery. And number 3, personal growth. Before we do that, I want us to examine the science behind food cravings and the science behind hunger. Because like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, then you do better. So cravings is really defined as the search for food to satisfy an emotion, to satisfy a sensation. So for example, if you are stressed or tired or angry, you reach out to food to comfort yourself. Now, usually those foods that we crave for are not healthy. For example, some people crave for sugars, some people crave for fried foods. Those are not healthy and they end up just damaging our weight loss efforts. Now, what's the exact science behind that? It's behind the reward system that we have in our brain. When we are in an uncomfortable situation, our body is stressed, we have an unpleasant sensation, and we can satisfy or quench that unpleasant sensation with something pleasing, then the brain remembers that. For example, if I'm stressed and I reach out for a chocolate and it makes me happy, makes me feel good, then my brain is going to remember that. And if I do that often enough, now it becomes a habit. Not only that, then I may need even more. That process is called habituation. It's very important for us to know that because some of the problems that we have mentally, that mental battle, can be around cravings. The second thing that I like to talk about is just the physiology behind hunger. Most of us get in trouble because we mistaken different feelings for hunger. Some people are thirsty, meanwhile they think they're hungry. Some people just look at the time and it's noon, they say, oh, I'm hungry, and so it's time to eat. It's important that we change that by knowing exactly how hunger works. Hunger is a physiologic sensation, meaning that our stomach is empty, the signal goes to the brain, certain hormones have to be balanced and released, and they tell us that we are hungry, and so we go through the action of seeking some food. One of the things that I tell my patients is if you think you're hungry, just go ahead and drink water because you may be thirsty actually. Or if you think you're hungry, just wait about 30 minutes and see if you're still hungry. If you're hungry, you should not be hungry for one specific thing. You should just be hungry, period, and you should be able to satisfy your hunger with any food. But if you're hungry and you think you want to eat just one thing, one thing only, that most likely is craving and not hunger. So let's examine 3 strategies that I think will help you win that mental battle to achieve weight loss. And these are the things that work for me. Number 1 is preparation. Preparation is key. You know, most people will get up and sign up for a program or go to a doctor or go outside of themselves, of their environment, looking for help without addressing inside of themselves and their own environment. So in order to prepare, I encourage you to, number 1, clean out that refrigerator. Take out those things that got us in trouble in the first place. Clean out the pantry. Clean out the house. Remove the junk food. Now, I get the question, or had the question, what if I have children? Now, I cleaned out my house, my refrigerator, my cabinet, but it doesn't mean that the people in my house will eat everything that I eat. So I am the one serving person. I have this one serving strategy for things that I know I will be tempted to eat. So things like ice cream, I'll ask the children, what kind of ice cream do you want? I'll get a serving for each. And I give them, and I know it's done. There's nothing to store. If they want French fries, good. I'll get them the French fries, a serving for each. Donuts, cupcakes, those are just some things that I don't want to have in my environment, but my children want, and so I'll get it for them in one serving. And by the way, we also want to try to keep the children healthy. So I know that once in a while, yes, but not every day. But for myself, I prepare by clearing my environment. It's very important also because if you develop a complication as a result of obesity, now you have created a family history that you will pass on to your child, and your child is at higher risk of developing that disease also. Things like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, strokes, that will be part of their family history. So I want to keep myself healthy. The other thing that we need to do to prepare after cleaning out is to have on hand, or to get some things on hand. Number 1, a journal. How are you going to record your journey? You need to have your journey recorded. So either get an app like MyFitnessPal, that's a good one, or just get a book. I personally am good with writing. That writing down, it helps bring to your awareness that you are in this journey. And if you write it down 3 times a day, that exercise helps you actually stay consistent on your journey. I like to prepare other things like meal prep bowls. Just get myself ready, get some workout clothes. And if I don't need to go buy workout clothes out there, look in my closet. I mean, of course, I have some t-shirts and some tennis shoes, things that I can use that I already have on hand. I just get them ready because I say tomorrow is when I'm starting this journey. So I'm ready mentally. I know I'm starting tomorrow, and I get my environment ready. Sometimes we need to also examine our associations. I mean, we do have some friends and family that can completely hinder our progress. So you want to examine that also. I'm not saying throw away your family and friends. I'm just saying maybe during this time you can re-examine that, and also link yourself up with people who can keep you consistent and are doing about the same thing. So these groups we have, I have a bootcamp group. A group like that, you have like-minded people doing the same thing. It just encourages you along your journey. Lastly, while you are preparing, don't focus on a temporary fix. Focus on a lifetime change. So when you're preparing, part of that is also determining your goal. How much weight do I want to lose, for example? You want to think about that, but you also want to make it a lifetime change. So that's it in a nutshell for preparation. When it comes to self-mastery and backtracking to preparation, don't forget also to think about what kind of plan are you going to follow, or who will you register with. That's all part of preparation. Are you going to your physician's office so they can help you with nutrition and a healthy lifestyle? It's always good to seek the help of somebody who is knowledgeable and who has a track record of success. Now, the second thing that will help you in winning that mental battle with obesity is self-mastery. You've got to know yourself. You have to know yourself. Knowing yourself will really help you along the way. You would know the things that work for you. You would know the mistakes that you make. You want to acknowledge them and be willing to change them and to be willing to learn new strategies and put them in place consistently. I looked up the dictionary of self-mastery, and it says it is the ability to control one's own desires or impulses. It is also been defined as self-control, the ability to exert a strong will against the impulses in order to steer your future to one of your choosing. So self-mastery really involves knowing yourself, being true to yourself. I get patients all the time who come and tell me, I don't eat anything, but I don't know why I keep gaining weight. I don't really eat that much, or my diet is completely clean. I don't really do much when it comes to eating. I don't eat junk food. I don't eat sodas. I don't drink sodas. I don't do all these things. Why am I still gaining weight? Part of that could be metabolic, but it's very, very, very few people who have heart diseases, kidney problems and things like that. But the rest of us who do not have those problems, we want to really examine ourselves on the inside, admit to our flaws and our wrong habits, and develop a discipline to change it. Not motivation, but discipline. Discipline says, I told myself I will do this, and I actually do it. But you have to acknowledge yourself. For example, I know some people who say eat a little candy when they go to the bank, and they have to go to the bank every day. They'll take that candy, eat one, and take maybe two to go. Okay, that's sugar. I know some people who just eat after the children because they don't want to waste the food. So, okay, those are extra carbohydrates, calories. So you want to know yourself and look into these little things and master yourself in order for you to make a change that would be long lasting. But you've got to admit to the things that you're doing that could be wrong. You also want to promise yourself that I say I will show up and I'll do it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% accurate, but you just tell yourself, and then you get up and you do the things that you say you will. Personal growth is the last one. This is a big one. You want to take a look at your mindset and the beliefs that you have. You know, sometimes we tell ourselves we just can't. And I tell people, and there's also a quote that says, if you say you can't, you're right. If you say you can, you're right. So when it comes to eating and breaking away from old habits, things like sugars, I'm a firm believer that we don't need sugars to survive. It's not an essential food. Sugars are not essential. In fact, if we are overweight, they just cause us to gain more weight. And if you're diabetic, keeps your blood sugar high, causes you to gain weight, and then it's just a problem. So we can eliminate sugars. When I tell people eliminate sugars, I'm not saying no carbohydrate. I'm talking about no refined sugars. So we have healthy carbohydrates in many foods, vegetables and things like that. I'm not saying no starches. Starches are healthy, especially the plant-based ones. I'm not a vegetarian, or I believe in eating all food groups. So you can get healthy foods, healthy carbohydrates from plants. But when it comes to refined sugars like sodas, juices, cookies, cakes, that's where the problem comes. And some people say they cannot move away from that. Well, those refined sugars are not essential. So why are we consuming them? You have to have a growth mindset. And this is where you tell yourself, I've done things on my own that got me in trouble, and now I'm open and willing. I open my mind, and now I'm willing to learn new things that can help me change my body, change my life. You want to agree to do that so that when you go in and you talk to your doctor or your coach and they tell you different things, now you are more receptive. You cannot start saying things like, I cannot live with certain foods. Oh, I'm already addicted, so there's no fix for that. Well, I'm not going to be able to live without Coke. I can't live without my one chocolate bar per day. I can't do that. I can't live without my 3 glasses of wine a day. Well, when you say such things, you give your brain the information. It's written there, so now you will not see a change unless you start changing the things that you're doing. But with self-mastery and personal growth, we want to practice a big thing called self-love. And this is the last thing I'll talk about today. You want to start to look at yourself and love yourself the way you are, and also have a vision for your future self, who you want to look like, who you want to become after you've lost the weight. I actually used to dream of my future self after I am at my ideal weight. That really helped me. I convinced myself I'm going to look like this. This is what I'm going to be wearing. This is what my blood pressure will be, my cholesterol. Imagine. You know, the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. It's true. You want to have a vision of yourself, a vision of where you want to go. Keep that in the forefront. Take a picture of yourself at your ideal weight. Save it as your screensaver on your phone. Put that picture in different places. Let it talk to you often. Very soon your actions start to follow your thoughts, and next thing you know, the weight comes off because you're already thinking with the mind of somebody who has lost the weight. It will help you. Very, very important. It's important that you also do positive affirmations. Tell yourself that you can. One of the 2 things that I told myself that this worked for me, I told myself, number 1, I don't need to keep tasting these things that got me in trouble because I've already tasted them. So what's the new thing that I'm going to learn? Nothing. That's one thing I told myself. And then the second thing I told myself was that I can. Especially when it came to exercise and working out. And once I passed the age of 50, I mean, things just really slowed down for me and changed. But because I told myself, listen, you can do this. Being my old self, I will not do a push-up. But when I made up my mind, I said, I'm going to do this push-up. Was my push-up perfect the first time? No. Was I able to do 1, 2, 3 push-ups the first time? No. But I practiced. I could not believe, why can't I do a push-up? I kept working on it, and now I can do 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups, 30 push-ups in a row, just because I've practiced over and over. And I do not stop myself from practicing or trying by telling myself I can't. So it's very important that you are honest with yourself. You find out what works for you. You take things that you learn and apply them to yourself. You know, especially, learn how food reacts in your body. Learn the things that you can eat, how much you can eat. Learn how things work for you. It's very important to know what happens to your body after you eat certain things. If you've tried and tried and tried, you will know. So it's important for you to prepare. Self-mastery, knowing yourself is important, and personal growth, allowing yourself is to grow. Those are the things that are important for you to conquer that mental battle when it comes to weight loss. So I hope this information helps you in your healthy lifestyle change. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit that notification button so each time I put out a video like this, you get a notification. Also share this video with your friends. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can follow me there on social media. Thank you, and I wish you all the best in your health and wellness journey. Thank you.